trying to get my little video to stand up so that you can see me from the right angle and not see up my nose, which would not be good. Okay, so today's little video is about the P of preparation. So it could be that in your kind of efforts to eat healthily and so on, you haven't really thought about prior preparation, and you kind of a little bit allergic to the idea of getting so obsessed that you're kind of preparing everything, and you know, life seems full anyway, so it's hard to think of this kind of extra job. I'm going to talk about a few ways of preparing which are which can suit different people depending on where they're at, and the purpose of preparing is to avoid that thing where you are hungry and you go to the fridge and the only stuff that's there is stuff that isn't really healthy for you to eat, isn't what your body needs in that moment, or you actually go to the shop to buy the right kind of foods but you're starving hungry, and so you end up, you know, snacking on your way around the shop. That's the dog shaking. So I have found that preparation really helps me to stay on track with my nutrition. And the easiest, most basic preparation style, if you like, is simply to not buy foods that are not what you should be eating. Don't have them in the house. So be prepared to eat healthily by buying healthy foods, filling up your fridge with healthy fruit and vegetables, making sure that you've got staples in, like brown rice and lentils and tins of tomatoes and onions and garlic and things that you can actually cook with that are good for you, and don't buy the stuff that is not so good for you. Now, people with kids, I know, would tend to have kind of snacks for lunch boxes and stuff that are for the kids. We also do that, although my principle is, you know, if I'm not eating it, then why do I think it's okay for my kids to eat it? But if and when I do buy stuff that the kids will eat that I won't, I buy just enough. I don't have a whole kind of stockpile. So that's the kind of the preparation in terms of thinking about what is in your cupboard and what is in your fridge. Buying foods that are healthy and don't have in the house at all things that are not healthy. If you have soda in your fridge, in your cupboard, tip it down the sink. You'll be doing yourself a favor. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion. So there's a few other things you can do to prepare, apart from making sure that you've got healthy food in the house. And that is something that I touched on yesterday with the post that I posted about cauliflower rice. So you can pre-prepare stuff that is feels kind of fiddly in the moment. You won't want the extra work of preparing it. But if you prepare a bunch of it, then it's in the fridge, it's ready, you can just grab it. So cauliflower rice is one of those things. It could be that you want to pre-cut a whole load of veggie sticks so that you can have those for snacks. Carrot sticks and hummus is a go-to snack for me, so it helps me if I've got some pre-cut carrots. What else? I really like to pre-make kind of an apple compote, so stew up some apples, put some ginger and spices in there, and that's a really nice fruit option to have with yogurt or on the top of something else. So pre-preparing stuff, you know, when you've got a morning and you haven't, or an evening, and you haven't got a lot on, doing a few things like that doesn't take a lot of time and really can keep you on track. Okay, so that's two different ways of preparing. The third way is to actually sit down. Personally, I think Sunday nights are a great time to think about the week ahead, to kind of set your intention for the week, and to do a little bit of preparation that will help you to stay on track. This is a sheet that I printed from the Beachbody site. Beachbody has a lot of program materials. For those of you who are subscribed to Beachbody or who might be interested, a lot of program materials that includes a lot of this stuff of nutrition, how to plan your nutrition. The particular plan that I'm doing at the moment has, it has breakfast, it has a snack, it has lunch, it has a snack, it has supper, it has endless numbers of snacks, but it's prescribed kind of which of my containers I will be snacking on. So it helps me on a Sunday just to go through and to think, okay, that green is going to be carrot sticks, that blue is going to be hummus, my meals for the week. And I never really liked doing this. I had friends who kind of, planned the menus for the week. And I'm like, well, that is totally not me. And so I am really flexible in the way that I plan, but I do have in mind my containers. So I do have in mind, so I personally have decided, for example, that I am going to eat my carbs in the mornings and not in the evening. So our evening meal, yesterday we had like a stir fry with some kind of veggie strips for protein, and Tim and the girls had rice, but I didn't. So because of the fact that I've planned it, I've prepared it, it's in my head, I don't kind of, accidentally not stick to the plan that I'm on. So preparing a kind of menu, having in mind some healthy snacks, having in mind some healthy meals, thinking in advance about what you need to have on the shopping list so that you've got all of that stuff in the house is so much better than, just kind of getting to the evening and everyone's starving and you think, oh gosh, noodles or toast or whatever. And we all do that. We all do it if we're not really prepared. So planning out your menu, that's one way of being prepared, and with a thought to your containers, that's one way of being prepared. Now the most prepared, which I always think, the people who do this consistently, I do this kind of not consistently, but the people who do it consistently are amazing to me. So I bought myself a whole bunch of these containers they can go through the dishwasher, they can go in the microwave, and on a Sunday night, it's the ideal time, doesn't have to be then, to make a big batch of some kind of healthy meal that could be either your lunches through the week, or it could be your suppers through the week. So one of your main meals, and prepare a load of it and then portion it out into a bunch of these containers and store them in the fridge. So you've got at least your weekdays sorted out, especially if you're at work and lunches are kind of, it's tempting just to grab the easy thing, or not to eat enough, not to eat the right stuff. Then it's really helpful to have one of these. You've put your food in it in advance. You've been thinking about your containers. You've made a healthy meal and you've put it in your lunchbox, ready for work. That, for example, is a really helpful thing to do. If you're going to be stuck in meetings all day, if you're going to be, even if you're going to be at home, and then the easy thing is just to kind of eat whatever grabs your attention in the moment. If you've prepared it, you're not going to want to waste it. So it's there waiting for you, and it's far more likely that you're going to stick to what you had in mind that would be the healthy choice. So those are a few ways to be prepared. The one thing we haven't spoken about is if you're going out or you've got a weekend away. I know, for example, a friend who's got a girls' weekend coming up, and she's thinking, okay, how can I kind of prepare myself to eat healthy on a weekend like that? Certainly for going out to eat, it's really good to check the menu before you go, have an idea, choose what you're going to eat in advance, because as soon as you get there and everyone's chatting and everyone's having different things, it's going to be far more difficult to make the healthy choice. So in all of this, I think the whole point is to make decisions about your food about your nutrition, about the week ahead, based on the intention you have for this week and the intention you have for this kind of season, whatever you're kind of pushing for in terms of, could be weight loss, could be muscle strengthening, whatever it is. It could just be the long trajectory of living healthily through life. You make the decisions about your food with that in mind, not in the heat of the moment, not when you're hungry, when the kids are screaming, when you've just been in a 3-hour meeting. Those are not good times to make choices about food, at least for me. So I don't know if you identify, but those tend to not be good times. So if you're prepared, if you've thought about it when the heat is off and you can think clearly about what it is you really want and to keep on track with that, that's going to help a lot. So I hope that's helpful. If you have questions or comments, as always, post them below where I post this video. Okay, let me deorganize my video.